So let's convert to radians or degrees. Negative 270 degrees. So if you were carving this out, you would actually go in which direction? You would start, if you were putting it in standard position, you would start at the positive x-axis. Which way would you go, clockwise or counterclockwise? Clockwise, because it's negative, and you'd actually be, the angle, the terminal side of the angle. It's good to have this stuff in your brain, to be able to picture this in your brain. So if you can't picture it in your brain, draw it at first. It's good to have, so here's the initial side, which coincides with the x-axis. You'd go clockwise 270 degrees like that, and then there's your terminal side along the positive y-axis, right? So that would be negative 270 degrees. You don't need to draw that to answer this question, but it's just nice to be able to picture that, because in some cases, drawing it can help you solve a problem. So negative 270 degrees, we want to convert that to radians. It's in degrees, convert to radians. If the given angle is in radians, convert to degrees. So, well, here's the thing. Conversion factors, when you use them to convert between units, all you have to remember is that units multiply and divide just like regular factors do, just like numbers do. So if I want the degrees to go away and I want to be left with radians, I have to choose which one makes sense to multiply by. 180 degrees over pi or pi over 180. I want the degrees to cancel. I want the degrees to go away. So I multiply by pi over 180. So I go times pi over 180 degrees. And the reason I know that's going to work is because units cancel just like numbers do. And I'll be left with radians. Okay, I didn't write it down, but it's pi radians. Normally you don't write it down. Not the radians. You always put in the circle, though, for degrees. So you can tell, degrees cancel. The units cancel just like regular numbers would, as long as it's multiplication or division. And then you're left with radians, so you know it's going to be right. You got to do the multiplication, but you know it's going to be right. That's what I meant. Yeah, you got to simplify it. So this is called unit analysis, by the way. It's really helpful in chemistry and physics to perform this sort of unit analysis and to realize that units multiply and divide just like numbers do, and they cancel just like numbers do. And you can figure out what units you should be in, even if you're not sure, if you know about this unit analysis. So, okay, so how do we multiply these fractions together? Yeah, degrees are gone, so the unreduced fraction, you multiply straight across, you'll get negative 270 pi radians. Again, I'm not going to write down radians every time. Divided by 180, and then you really should reduce that fraction, right? So I know you can divide both the numerator and denominator by 10. And then you have negative 27 pi over 18. What's negative 27 over 18? So divide numerator and denominator by 9, and you get what? Negative 3, don't forget the pi, over 2. Or negative 3/2 times pi, same thing. So everybody good there? All right. So by the way, what did we just discover with this picture then? You could also think of this angle 3/4 of the way around clockwise, right, as negative 3 pi over 2. As you know, if you go clockwise, what's it going to be? Yeah, 1/2 pi or pi over 2. Yeah. Any questions? Yeah. Well, no, because they're not. If you said pi over 2 was the answer, you'd be saying essentially negative 3 pi over 2 equals pi over 2. They're not the same, but they are coterminal. I mean, clearly the angle in red is not the same as the angle in blue, right? But they are coterminal. They have the same terminal side. Let's do the same thing here, but let's approximate the 427 degrees. So we're given degrees. Let's change to radians. Let's approximate that in radians. So what do we already know what to multiply by based on the last example. You guys tell me. 427, we want degrees to cancel. So we multiply by So we multiply by pi divided by 180, 180 degrees. And you can see the cancellation. You don't see any units left. You know you're in radians. So the unreduced form of this, if I work it to the right, the unreduced form would be, what, 427 pi over 180. So let's go ahead, take out your calculator. Let's have more than one person doing it so we can check to make sure a wrong button wasn't pushed somewhere. Take 427 times pi. Hit the pi button on your calculator. Don't use 3.14. Hit the pi button. And then divide by 180. And tell me what you get, accurate to 2 places past the decimal, let's say.
7 and 45 hundredths.
7,
And 45.
so 7.45. Okay. Do I put any units down? You could put radians if you wanted to. It wouldn't hurt anything. But I'll tell you what, if you don't see anything and you know it's an angle measure, if you don't see the degree symbol, you know it's in radians.